Hello everyone, this is Makayla and welcome to A Day in My Life. And this day began with getting a COVID test because that's what we have to do weekly if we're living on campus. And then I got my breakfast of toast, and as I'm watching this now, I realize I eat my toast very weird. I like to peel off the crust and then eat it like that and then spread my butter and peanut butter on, and it just looks very strange in this time lapse. As I ate, I read some of Jane Eyre. It's my first time reading it and I'm really enjoying it. I've now had breakfast, so I'm going to read from my online Spanish textbook because we have a quiz this afternoon in Spanish class, and I want to review the verb tenses that we've been discussing over the past few weeks and all the vocabulary. In general today, I just have a lot of activities and homework that involve reading, so I guess the theme of this video today is reading. I'm not quite sure exactly how much it's going to be as of now, but I do think I'm going to be reading for most of the day today. Added interest, I guess it would make sense for me to actually show you what this online textbook looks like. It's a good textbook, but what's annoying about it is it stops me at the bottom of each section. So like if I've finished this 5th activity, then I have to go to the contents to like actually select the next section of the book. It doesn't let me just scroll straight down to it. But aside from that, I like it. This quiz is going to be over the subjunctive and imperative tenses, which we have learned before. This is kind of like a review course we're doing at a higher level, basically. We're incorporating more culture into it, that sort of thing. And on the quiz is also going to be vocabulary, so I can also use the book to study all of these words. There's an online Quizlet that has all these words too, so I'll probably study that as well. We are currently reading this by Freud for my Power, Identity, Resistance class. And I'm really enjoying it because it feels more comprehensible to me, honestly, than the last book we read, which was by Nietzsche. And I don't know, I don't really know exactly what to think of it yet. So maybe after I read these couple of chapters, I'll have more to say about my opinion on it. But it really is about civilization and happiness and religion. So I guess it's just a very deep book, which makes it interesting to discuss in class. Since I filmed this segment, I have now finished this book, and we discussed it in class yesterday, and honestly, it was just so interesting. So at the end of the book, Freud basically was talking about how guilt derives from the fact that civilization restricts us, so we basically internalize our instincts of aggression, and those instincts of aggression turn against our own ego, and this is what forms the conscience, and we berate ourselves for things that we have done, and then also just other things that we might even intend to do or think about doing, and it was just so fascinating to hear everyone else's ideas. After this, I FaceTimed my mom, and she of course showed me moose, and this made my day. I'm walking back to my dorm because I'm going to meet Karina for lunch. There's actually been an outbreak of COVID on campus, so there's currently a lockdown, and we're gonna meet over FaceTime instead because of the lockdown, which really stinks because I was looking forward to going to a new library with her and eating outside, but it'll still be good to see her over FaceTime. So anyway, I have my tofu and vegetables now, and I'm heading back. During lunch, Karina and I made a huge list of all the things that we want to do in Chicago after the pandemic, so it was really fun to dream about all of the potential activities we can do together. But then after eating, I went back and reviewed the textbook to ensure that I was grasping all the concepts correctly, and I just wanted to review prior to taking the quiz. And then of course I had to log on to Spanish, and we took the quiz first thing, which is why I look like I am not exactly very happy right here. Spanish class is over and we have to write a summary of our reading circle that we had, so I'm going to fill that out, and then I'm going to finish the reading for Power, Identity, Resistance, because I'm not done that yet. Very annoying to take notes for Freud in this. Let me give an example. So he's describing this whole thing. The state of mind is called a bad conscience, but actually it does not deserve this name for at this stage. The sense of guilt is clearly only a fear of loss of love, and so on. So I'm like taking notes on this, like, okay, this is interesting and what good points he's making. And then at the end of the page, he changes his mind and says, actually, it is not until now that we should speak of conscience or sense of guilt. Which means that the stuff he was talking about previously is not the point he was actually getting to, and it's irrelevant to his final hypothesis on the conscience and on guilt. So I didn't need to take those notes that I just took. He keeps doing that. This is like consistently happening, so you'd think that I would have learned now by page 116 that I shouldn't write down something that he's saying before I've gotten to like the end of the section. I don't know if this quite counts as reading, but I have a book on Audible that I am doing for Feminism Book Club, and I have 2 chapters to read before tomorrow night. So as I run my errands tonight, which includes going to the store to get like shampoo and conditioner and picking up a package from the mailroom, I'm also going to listen to my auditory book on the way there. Also, because of the lockdown, I have been double masking, just because it makes me feel a little bit safer going into public places. The lockdown should be ending later this week though, so it'll be nice to hopefully get back into the libraries and the music practice rooms again. It is freezing out, and I thought I might go for a walk during this, but it's way too cold to do that. I just checked and the feel like temperature is 45. There's no way it is 45 degrees. 45 is way too warm for what it is right now. So I'm going to hurry to get my errands done. I spilled some food at the dining hall. It was really embarrassing. It wasn't a big mess, but I cleaned it up. But I got flustered and forgot to go to the mailroom, so I'm going to have to go back out and do that, which I'm really not looking forward to because it's so cold out. But I'm now eating supper, and it's like a vegan casserole with peas and noodles and stuff, and it's good. I'm happy that I have Jane Eyre to read right now because between all the books that I have for school and then also Feminism Book Club, there's a lot of required readings, and while I enjoy them, there's just something special about choosing your own book to read for fun. So I'm really happy that I'm going through it, and it's been something really great to look through as I'm eating, especially. With lockdown, it can get a little bit boring eating in my dorm each day, and I've really enjoyed having a good book to read. If you couldn't tell by how much I'm talking about it. Afterwards, I met with my presentation group for Power Identity Resistance because we were doing a small presentation on the Freud chapters that we read for class the next day, and essentially we went over the primary elements of it and came up with discussion questions to lead the class. The meeting went a little bit later than I expected because it's now past 8 o'clock, but I'm going to go shower now, and then when I get out of the shower, I'm going to do some reading. After I showered, I cleaned off some stuff, including my laptop, because I like it to feel clean as I go into bed. And then I got out my book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces. So we're actually reading this in my class that I'm taking, Star Wars and Religion, which is an elective I'm doing, and it's been so much fun, but we are only assigned certain sections from this book, and I find it just so interesting, so I'm going through it on my own and reading all of it, and I'm also just highlighting things that I find important or eye-catching that I might want to read later, so this is why I'm going through with a highlighter. It's really just Campbell's outline of the hero's journey and the monomyth and the same structural elements that are present in many stories across time and the world, so it's very interesting and I would highly recommend it. But it was just a lot of reading today, a lot of time lapses of reading, but I hope that you still enjoyed it, and I also hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.